Welcome to Not Your Cinema. Today we are reviewing Roofman, a 2025 film. Did not realize, I did not remember it was rated R, I guess. But I guess
Rated
that makes
R.
sense. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, this one has pretty high scores on both the tomato and popcorn meter.
Yeah. And a
So
lot of genres. This is a biography, crime, drama, history, music, romance film. No comedy in there, even though it feels like the trailer was geared towards maybe a comedy film.
yeah, and I think that was kind of what I was thinking going into it. Yeah, if I'd have known that comedy was not one of the 27 ways they described the film, I would have maybe went into it with different expectations. But yeah, here at the Nacho, we do things a little bit different. We give our scores right up front, and then kind of talk about the good, the mixed, and the bad, which may go into spoilers. We try to avoid them, but inevitably, probably will mention something spoilery accidentally. So if you don't want to be spoiled at all, you'll just get our scores here, and yeah, otherwise you can stay tuned with us, and we try to keep them to a very minimum, if hopefully none at all. But yeah, I guess Pepper, what are you coming in at for a score of Roof Man? And you saw
I
this one after the fact. I saw this one in theaters.
Yes. I am giving this one a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a decent movie. Yes, maybe wrong expectations going into it. There is still some fun to be had, though. And the fact that it is based a lot closer than most movies on a true story, I think adds a lot to the movie as you see what things actually were like and maybe get a little more appreciation for it. So, 7 out of 10, good one. If you like these kind of movies, just these true stories of how did this happen and just kind of studying on a character that's it's not too dark into crime and stuff like that, but a little lighter look at it. I think it's worth checking it out.
Yeah, I think at the time I would have been more harsh on it. I'd probably move it up another half point to point to probably get around where you are at a 7. Yeah, it's a overall fine film. I think I was going into it maybe expecting a little more, based on the trailer, a little more heart to the movie, and yeah, it wasn't fully there for me. There were moments, but it didn't quite get to the level that I thought. But yeah, I guess if maybe I had seen more of kind of what they were saying are the top genres of this one, I maybe would have had slightly different expectations. So it was more expectations probably than actually uh, looking at the movie for what it was.
Yep. Yep. And then we'll head into the good of the movie. The good, then the mix, then the bad. Starting off with the good, we have honest. And I think this is something that it could be a negative too.
Yeah,
But it's something that I at least appreciate that they didn't they probably made it Hollywoodized a little bit here and there, but overall it feels honest. It's not trying to paint it in a super nice light. Uh, there are consequences to actions. Not everything works out perfectly. There's sad parts and happy parts, and I just feel like they tried to present it as honestly as possible, and I think that's something that would maybe help this one grow in time for me as I look back on it.
yeah, and I think that is where the fact of seeing it's saying biography as a genre, um, probably leaning a little bit more into that. Like you said, I mean, with this kind of character they're putting here on the poster, obviously, I think they're gonna play up some parts a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I'm sure it did not go down exactly 100%, but yeah, in parts where I could have seen them taking liberties to maybe make the film a little less like I don't know, like deep or like feeling like deep in like a bad way or scared. I don't,
Okay.
not a scared way, but a dramatic way.
Yeah.
Um, they could have made it maybe a little more humorous, a little lighter.
Yeah.
instead of so heavy in some moments. And instead, they kind of chose to, in certain times, just be like, well, this is just how it is. And
Yeah.
uh, this is how you should probably or would probably really feel in
Yeah.
this thing versus, oh, we're playing it off as a silly, funny thing.
Yeah.
Um, oh, this is funny. I mean, there's some things like that, but
Yeah.
uh, I, yeah, there's times where they could have done that and changed it to be more
Yeah.
funny movie, and they didn't. So I like that, but that could also, like when my expectations were maybe it would be a little more on that hearty, funny side, and then go into it and then see what it was.
Yeah.
That it's just, yeah, what expectations you have going in
Yeah.
could make it a bad thing too.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but then, yeah, because of that, I think the story overall worked really well. It yeah, all flowed and made sense because they're actually keeping to, uh, at least within reason, a real story. So I think sometimes those are the most interesting and make for good things when you actually stick to things. Sometimes they can be boring, I guess, if you stick 100% to it. So I think they chose their moments of maybe probably changing some things up a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the setting kind of concept of the movie, he hides inside of buildings. He goes in through the roof and robs some places. And in this movie, he is hiding. He's on the run. He's hiding in a Toys R Us, which is why he has toys all over him in this poster. And I think it's just a fun setting to put yourself into. Um, just thinking about that, it makes you want to do it, even though it may be illegal. It's just like, oh, it would be fun if it was just like a for fun, a mock-up store kind of thing. How you would do this, how you would do that, and sneak around in certain ways. Um, just kind of like, yeah, the whole movie is fun to put yourself into some of these situations.
Yeah, I think that is part of the fun parts to it, and that's where I think I thought it would maybe play into that a little more in a funny, fun way, and it did, but
Yeah,
um, yeah, it also is interesting in that way because this happened, and the
yeah,
time period of this was before we had cell phones on everything, and you had everything recorded and stuff, and um, they had security systems, but yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. But I think, yeah, that part playing into it too, I think, yeah, made it interesting.
yeah. And then on to the mixed aspects, possibly kind of all tying together in that heart aspect. But I guess, so yeah, we kind of mentioned the comedy. It's not totally a comedy. There are moments there, I think probably more in the earlier half as he is
Hmm.
kind of first getting into this Toys R Us. There's some moments there that I think are pretty well done. But then kind of just as the weight of the situation builds, it just gets a lot less comedic as it goes, which ties into pretty much the things we've talked about. What you're expecting is pretty much everything and going to decide whether or not it's the right amount of comedy or not enough or maybe too much.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely for me played into the heart. I think you have to have that kind of light levity feel from that comedy just usually can bring to films.
Yeah,
Um, and once that started going away, it's like, okay, usually the heart in a movie is usually something in kind of the last
yeah,
scenes that kind of you resolve something and um, usually as a good thing at the end. And this might not have had uh, necessarily the happy ending that you typically see
yeah, yeah.
necessarily.
And I mean, there are things resolved character wise and realizations that are like they're honest,
Hmm.
but just maybe not the traditional kind of feel good kind of resolutions. But there is some, I guess, satisfying conclusions there and changes for characters. But
Yeah.
overall, the characters, I think they're acted well. But just the main character there, and kind of he tries to fit in and have this kind of new life with some other characters, and I don't know how accurate it is, and I don't think it's bad acting, but it just he didn't feel trustworthy. Like I would open up my life to this guy. He felt kind of off, and that was one of the parts that had it hard to tie in to Tatum's character. I didn't. I still like him. He's still kind of likable and care for him and want him to make the right decisions, but at the same time, something just felt off, and maybe that was an accurate portrayal. And um, I don't know, it just felt a little off for some of the movie.
Yeah, yeah. There were times where I was like, I don't know, I don't know about this guy, or
Trying
yeah,
a
if I
little too
like him
hard.
necessarily. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think yeah, but like the performance itself for him, I
Yeah.
think was pretty solid. Yeah, I guess if that's how he was,
Yeah.
but it seemed like a pretty good performance. I think he Tatum was able to kind of capture. Uh, in different moments based on what the situation was. You kind of could feel what he was feeling
Yeah.
or kind
Yep.
of presented that.
Yeah. Yep. And then the bad, we don't really have any outright bad things to say about it.
Yeah, and I think that comes down to it's going to come down to personal preference. It
Yeah.
looks like a lot of people are liking it, but yeah, because of that kind of truthfulness, like when you see this cover outside of maybe the Gan, uh, yeah, maybe looking at it, I'd maybe think, oh, this could be a family movie potentially. If I
Yeah.
didn't look at the rating or any of that,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, maybe it could be.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I don't know. Would you say it would be? I don't think it would be necessarily. I mean, you could,
I
but
I mean, I don't think the like
I
kids
don't
would
think
be,
it's,
I don't think the kids would get anything from it. I don't think it's
yeah,
too bad though.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it would, yeah, just come down to what expectations are. But yeah, otherwise, I don't know if there's anything too bad about it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't
but
think so.
yeah, this was yeah, I think this was in the second half of the year.
Yep.
So yeah, I think this was one that I was excited about then. I saw the trailer and yeah, because of the lack of comedy, I think it was one of my bigger disappointments, unfortunately. But it was still good for what it is actually trying to be and portray.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Probably respect it maybe a little more than I totally enjoyed it.
Hmm. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, you can give us a like, thumbs up, and yeah, if you liked it, you can subscribe to the channel for future videos like this. Let us know if there's any other movies you'd like us to check out, review. If we haven't already, you can go check out maybe what we've already reviewed in the past. But otherwise, we hope to see you on the next one. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on that movie theater popcorn and those M&Ms.